In the house! You're surrounded! If you don't walk out that door unarmed in 10 seconds, we open fire! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last chance! Okay! Perforate it, boys!
Monsieur Hercules Poirot is a personal friend of mine. He has done a great service of the most secret and international importance to the government of Turkey. Now, he is suddenly summoned by the Prime Minister himself to return to Great Britain at once. I dined with him only last evening and promised him that I, Marcel assures his friends passage aboard this evening's train. Take my friend Poirot in charge, Mademoiselle Marceau. Secure a compartment of the highest comfort and see to his every wish. This office is depending upon you. Succeed, and I will consider the application for promotion you place on my desk week after week. Fail, and satisfy yourself with the position of clerk for the few short days you will remain in my employ.
Monsieur Poirot? All right, Antoinette. Here at last is the chance you've been waiting for. Your fate is in your own hands. Monsieur Poirot?
This fool tries to sell me a cleaver with no style or grace. Tell him which is the better cleaver for the hacking of meat.
The cleaver in your left hand.
Ah, here at least is one who knows fine forged German steel when she sees it.
Monsieur Poirot? Monsieur Poirot?
Now see here, Foscarelli, I've done my fair share of traveling. I'll tell you, Kataya tiles are the finest made in Turkey.
And I tell you, it is the enamel tiles from Iznik. These are the oldest and the most beautiful of the Ottoman Empire.
Well, they are quite impressive, to be sure, but the Kataya tiles are more beautiful. I'm sure there are examples sold here in this bazaar that would prove my point.
Gentlemen, please, may I get by?
What have we here?
Young lady, settle the dispute. You know the famous enameled ceramics?
Yes, of course, I live in Istanbul, but...
We have to wait here for our porter. Find us an example of a Kataya tile.
And an Iznik.
Just borrow them for a second. No need to buy any.
I don't have time for this.
Then permit us to continue the debate without you.
Furniture and household goods, all handmade. I'm sure he won't mind if I just borrow this for a moment. boxes of tea.
Ah, she returns. Perhaps now we can settle this.
Did you bring us a kataya?
Or an sneak?
Here is a kataya bowl. It is the best, of course.
There. What did I tell you?
Thank you, young woman. Now we can turn our attention to more important things, like those fountains we were discussing earlier.
Monsieur Poirot? Let me pass.
Her Excellency has lost her parasol. We are searching for it to protect her from the sun, you see.
I beg your pardon, but I am in a great hurry.
Then you are an ignorant girl indeed. Go about your business.
I expect she can buy another somewhere nearby.
A parasol fit for a princess? Here, I think not.
I appeal to you, Princess. Please, let me pass.
Have you by chance seen my parasol? I've lost it. I can't think where I left it.
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
If you could help us look for it. I am not as mobile as I was at your age, and Schmidt would rather fast than make an adequate search. I would be very grateful.
What is that goat eating? Could this be the parasol?
But yes, Dankeschön, Fräulein. If your Excellency pleases, we should board the train.
I still must buy a bracelet for my arthritis, Schmidt. There is ample time yet for the train. Let this helpful young woman pass.
Oh, please, European Miss. I have the train to Calais to catch, but I am so turned about in here. The heat, the foreign peoples. I pray for a guide, but it's frivolous and weak, and I know, and God rightly does not grant these prayers.
I'm with the train company. I can give you directions.
Directions? Oh, no. I am doing very poorly with directions. Please, show me the way, or I am becoming lost forever.
Very well, but I'm in a hurry. Please, try to keep up.
Oh, thank you. Yes, take me to the train, please. I must not be missing the train that leaves Istanbul on this day. I am Greta Olsen, matron to a small missionary school near the port of Gemlik. I nurse and instruct the children who have lost their way.
Make sure the statue is safely on board before departure.
Yes, Mr. Ratchet.
Who do they sell this pottery to?
Tourists, I expect.
Huh. Well, at least the dust looks authentic.
Excuse us, please.
Well, hello.
Please, do not be stopping us. The train will be leaving without me.
French, right? Are you traveling with us this evening?
Yes, will you pardon us?
What's the rush? We have plenty of time. Fellow passengers and all. Plenty of time to get acquainted.
I am an official of the train line with official business to see to.
Sounds very official. I like it when your eyes get all stormy like that.
Mr. Ratchet.
Did you hear a squeak?
If you don't let us pass immediately, I will see that you never travel on this line again.
Not that I think you could make that stick, but I'm willing to continue our chat later. Mary.
Not now. Not now. When it's all over, when it's behind us, then...
Well, what are you waiting for? Don't let us stand in your way.
Tickets, please. No one may board the train without a ticket.
I must be making an inventory of my possessions. Everything. It gets lost.
I don't think that's appropriate. That isn't such a good idea. I won't do that. The time for talk has passed.
But I must travel this evening to London. It is of the most importance. My friend, Monsieur Bou, director of the line, assured me of a room aboard the Calais coach.
I am sorry, monsieur. It is incredible. It is off-season, yet the world elects to travel tonight. Not a single room remains.
Pardon me, messieurs. I'm Antoinette Marceau from the Istanbul office.
Are you quite well, Mademoiselle Marceau? You are flushed and winded.
I'm fine, really. It was something of a chore to catch up to the train.
But the train, it does not move.
Mademoiselle, please tell the gentleman the Calais coach is full.
What is your name?
Pierre Michel, mademoiselle.
I've seen your name on reports. Your record with the company is excellent.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Marceau. I always strive to do my very best for my passengers.
Then strive now, Michel.
Perhaps Monsieur could sit up in the salon car for the beginning of this journey?
Please give Monsieur Poirot room 16.
It is taken, mademoiselle.
But number 16 is always kept in reserve for such emergencies.
Nevertheless, tonight it is occupied by an American gentleman, a Monsieur Hardman.
He does not sound like someone to be trifled with.
We must find a room for Monsieur Poirot.
Mademoiselle, if I could construct an additional compartment, I would.
Let me see your passenger manifest, please.
I have an extra plan of the Calais coach with all the passengers listed. Take it by all means. As you can see, every room is filled.
There are extra beds.
Only two. In Mr. McQueen's room, but he has paid for a single. And Miss Olsen's room, but I hardly think Monsieur Poirot.
No, merci. I would not think of it.
Of course.
Au revoir, monsieur. Monsieur Poirot, I place myself entirely at your service.
You know Poirot?
Who would not recognize the most famous detective in the world?
You are very kind, mademoiselle.
I have a passion for crime.
You enjoy the study of it, I hope, not the committing.
Oh, the study, the gathering of clues, the questioning of suspects.
Merely what the Americans call the footwork.
Legwork, I believe, monsieur.
As you say. I prefer the detection that occurs here. The little grisers.
My scrapbook contains many accounts of your cases. That mysterious affair at Styles, the death of Roger Ackroyd, the noted businessman, Lord Edgware's murder. But don't forgive me, I'm rambling. Give Monsieur Poirot my room. I will be quite comfortable in the salon car.
Mademoiselle Poirot, he will not hear of such a thing.
I insist. I will not compromise the hospitality of the train.
Oh, if I must turn you out, why then you will stay in the room of Miss Olsen. I am sure she will not mind when she learns of your sacrifice.
No, really, it isn't necessary.
No. Poirot has spoken. The matter, it is settled.
I will speak to the lady at once.
Loin of this, leg of that. I am not eating the flesh of the animals.
In America, if it has fur, we either eat it or wear it. As my daughter always says, there's a lot America could teach people in other countries, if they'd only wake up and listen. She says one day you'll be able to go into a restaurant in Istanbul and order a hamburger. What do you think of that?
Why would you want to do such a thing?
Why? Everybody wants a taste of home.
I expect the Turks would agree with you.
Exactly. That's what my daughter says. It's only a matter of time and Turks will love hamburgers.
You will be sufficiently amiable to place in my compartment a bottle of mineral water before I retire this evening.
Certainly, Your Excellency.
For dinner, I shall have chicken cooked without sauces. Also, some boiled fish.
I am very sorry, Your Excellency. There is no chicken or fish on the menu.
Oh. Is he chef for this journey? The German?
Oui, Your Highness. The cooking of Monsieur Klaus is admired all over Europe.
No doubt. Very well, I will have lamb. Again, without sauces.
You've got to put it over big, whatever you're selling.
Sure, that is what I say all the time. With motor cars, it is no half measures.
This steak is excellent.
The pork is also very nice.
Say, we haven't been introduced.
That is very true. We haven't.
You are not eating.
I haven't much appetite this evening.
How could I be so lucky to have found you?
You found me? Only after I had chased you across 3 continents.
The statues in the baggage car?
Yes, I saw them loading the crate myself. They were very careful.
Huh, they better be. If it's damaged, I might enjoy owning a railroad. Who knows?
You travel often by train in your profession, mademoiselle?
Yes, I do.
You are a person most fortunate.
I'd rather fly.
Oh, mais non. Not for me are the aeroplanes, with their sudden changes of altitude and the capricious tossing about of the passengers by the weather très mauvais. No.
In business, speed is often more important than comfort.
No, it is more than the comfort. The trains, they lend themselves to the romance and the intrigue. All about us are people of all classes, of all nationalities, of all ages. They sleep and eat under one roof. They cannot get away from one another. And at the end of the 3 days, they part. They go their several ways, never perhaps to see each other again. For a few moments only, the skilled detective has the chance to study his fellow travelers, to watch their little stories unfold beneath the microscope of the trained eye.
Tell me what you see.
You as well, mademoiselle. We will make the little game of it, n'est-ce pas? One must look, one must listen at all times. If you were to listen at the door of any compartment, who knows what you may learn?
That would not be very proper, Monsieur Poirot.
Proper? The student of crime must also be the student of human nature. Oh, what better way to make the study? Huh? I will illustrate. Mademoiselle Marceau, you are facing the entire car, whereas Poirot, he sits with his back to most and is only observed upon entering. Start with the table farthest away, the 3 ladies. Tell me about them.
The younger woman is British from her accent. She seems very capable and down to earth. If we'd been at school together, I believe we would have been friends.
Oui. She has a strong character, that one. Perhaps the strongest among us. But she is a mystery nonetheless.
Why do you say that?
You observed her embrace of the most passionate kind with a proper English gentleman this afternoon?
Yes, I did. Very un-English of both of them.
As you say. And yet now she sits at another table, indifferent to him and his glances.
Lovers quarrel?
What can have happened in so short a time for the lovebirds to fly from the light into the darkness?
One is a Swedish missionary from a school near Gemlik on the Bosporus. She is also very uncomfortable in unfamiliar surroundings and gets lost easily.
That is truly wonderful. How did you arrive at this?
I helped her find the train inside the train station.
Well, it is an important lesson, that. When you know the facts, why bother with the clues?
The older woman with the loud voice is American. Even with the length of the car between us, one can tell that.
Well, it is true what you say. And yet, she seems to be a woman quite amiable and without malice. A good beginning. And what is there to say about the tanned British gentleman?
Military, I would say, from the way he carries himself.
Very good.
He's not as proper as he looks.
Or he is so in love, it breaks down all the inhibitions.
They are married, but not to one another.
What did she say to him? Huh? Not now. Not now. When it is behind us, then.
They are waiting for the divorce to be final.
Perhaps.
He has spent much time in the tropics.
Oui, some far-flung corner of the British Empire. India, perhaps. Tanned, military. Or posting in Egypt, perhaps. Or India. And now the grand lady who sits alone.
I'd say royalty. A princess. Russian, probably.
Oh, no. You will not play the same trick on Poirot twice. Alors, she too you have met?
I did a small service for her earlier today.
She has the very grim exterior, that one. But there is something about her, huh? A twinkle in the eye, perhaps? No. I think she is not quite so much the dragon as she appears. Alors, and across from her sits?
Hildegard Schmidt. Yes, I met her too. Quite unpleasant for a lady's maid. They're usually such mild creatures.
Vraiment? She also has sent her plate back to the chef twice for adjustments. Very particular about the cuisine. It would be nice if the menu was more varied. We march. This large table nearest the kitchen now, with the 3 gentlemen. What can you see?
The Italian sells motor cars. He's very enthusiastic about cars in general.
Oui, a salesman to his very soul, I would say.
The American appears to be a commercial traveler of some sort.
Oui, he carried the sample case when he boarded the train. Yet, I wonder. The case, it was quite small. Yet he seems very fit, does he not? The suit of such questionable taste, he can barely contain the muscles.
Can't a commercial traveler be athletic?
C'est possible.
The Englishman is very quiet.
He certainly does not share the enthusiasm for conversation of his companions. A superior sort, with a disapproving expression. That suggests nothing to you?
I'm afraid not.
A gentleman's gentleman, as the British would say.
A valet. Yes, I can see him pressing trousers and shining shoes.
And now, as discreetly as possible, observe the young couple directly behind me.
Her dress is exquisite, very expensive. And the jewels. Ah, she's lovely. The kind of woman a man would marry and lavish gifts upon.
It is very romantic, is it not? And yet I detect the melancholy in your voice, mademoiselle.
I'm sorry. I expect it's jealousy. I grew up in Jucar, a small town near Avignon. My parents wanted me to stay in Jucar and marry well, but I rebelled.
Ah.
Have you never rebelled, Monsieur Poirot?
These days, not so much, I fear. Rebellion, it is for the young.
I went to England too, to university, then out here to Istanbul. I wanted to get as far away from Jucar as I could. I wanted mystery, adventure, romance. I became a clerk. No mystery, no adventure, and certainly no time for romance.
Poirot is not so much the expert on romance. Yet mystery and adventure may be closer than you think.
The man is very handsome, aristocratic. He dresses as an Englishman, but his accent is Hungarian, I think.
Oui, a diplomat, I believe, fiercely in love.
Fiercely?
The man who makes the unwanted advances to his young wife would suffer for it. And now, to the last table, where the older gentleman has been glancing this way throughout dinner.
The older man's name is Ratchet, an American. Very coarse and brutish, despite the fine clothes and table manners. He forced his attentions on me in the bazaar today. I think he's been trying to renew the attempt all through dinner. He keeps looking this way.
Most would see the smiling round face with the pink cheeks and the brilliantly white teeth that are false and say, there sits a benevolent personality indeed.
There is no smile in his eyes.
No, there is a dark fever in them. Not a benevolent man, not a nice man at all. And forgive me, mademoiselle, but I do not think that he has been watching you. Poirot is the unfortunate victim of his interest this evening.
The younger American man is named Hector something. I like him. He seems very open and pleasant. He's Mr. Ratchet's secretary, I believe, but I don't think he's very happy in the position.
Perhaps an acquaintance worth cultivating for an attractive young lady traveling alone?
Monsieur Poirot, I would never be so forward.
Oh, but it is 1934, mademoiselle. Young ladies are forward. Even those from Jucar.
Hector, I'm not having dessert.
I thought I might try the...
You go get started on those letters I dictated.
But I...
Yes, sir. I think I have the pleasure of speaking to Monsieur Hercules Poirot.
You have been correctly informed, monsieur.
My name's Ratchet. In my country, we come to the point quickly. Mr. Poirot, I want you to take on a job for me. It means big money. Big money. I'm a rich man. Rich men have enemies. I have an enemy.
Only one enemy?
Just what do you mean by that?
Monsieur, in my experience, when a man he is in a position to have, as you say, the enemies, then it does not usually resolve itself into one enemy alone.
I appreciate your point. Enemy or enemies, it doesn't matter. What matters is my safety. My life has been threatened, Monsieur Poirot. I'm used to taking pretty good care of myself. I'm not the kind of man to be caught napping, but you'll be extra insurance.
I regret, monsieur. I cannot oblige you.
Name your price.
I have been very fortunate in my profession, monsieur. I have made enough money to satisfy both my needs and my caprices. I take now only such cases as interest me.
What's wrong with my proposition?
If you will forgive me for being personal, I do not like your face, Monsieur Ratchet.
Train company employee. I have checked the baggage car for the supplies I ordered to be delivered here in Belgrade. There is no bacon. I will not make a breakfast tomorrow without the bacon. My reputation is at stake. Find me my bacon or I leave the train here and you can cook all the meals yourself.
Train company employee? I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look around. Belgrade. This will be a brief stop to take on supplies, mail, and to add the Athens-Paris coach. There will be few, if any, passengers in this weather. Quite interesting.
Bloody awful weather.
The train better get moving soon. The passes west of here fill with snow pretty fast. Back in '29, there was a train trapped up there for a week.
Ah, Colonel Arbuthnot, isn't it? And Mr. McQueen.
That's right. Say, you're the company representative, aren't you? I heard there was one on the train.
Is there anyone in the station?
Only people we've seen were an attendant and a passenger, I think. They boarded that coach they're adding to the train. Then somebody turned out the station lights. It's the Athens-Paris coach, I think. Mr. Ratchet and I travel this route quite a bit.
Yes, well, I've all the fresh air I need, if you'll excuse me.
I'll be getting along then, too. Don't want to hold us up.
This is our company representative from Istanbul? A woman?
Mademoiselle Marceau, this is Tayyip, our engineer.
What is the report from the station master?
It is not good, I'm afraid. Heavy snow is forecast for the mountains. The passes between Vancouver and Brod will fill up quickly.
Klaus is missing a side of bacon.
He told me. I showed him the manifest. It was not on the Athens-Paris card.
How many passengers joined us here in Belgrade?
Only one. A Greek doctor, I believe.
I think I saw the Athens-Paris coach attendant board the restaurant car just now.
Really? He should be back in the Athens-Paris coach.
Good evening, monsieur. Are you ready to go?
I have been ready. I am not the slow one here. It is the Serbs.
Can we reach Broad in this weather?
If any engine can get us through, it will be this 460.
I suppose I'll have to take responsibility if we go on.
Company representative? And a woman? No, this is my train, my decision. We go.
It is frustrating not to know what it says. Serbian, I suppose. It would have to be Serbian. If only I spoke Serbian. Can you read Serbian?
A little. The manifests from Belgrade are in Serbian.
Could you read some tags on the Prague luggage truck for me?
Yes, of course. That appears to be a box of golf balls. That is, I believe, toilet paper, mademoiselle. From the looks of it, that crate contains more carrot juice than Prague will ever need. Slanina, we have found Klaus's bacon, Mademoiselle Marceau.
Will you take it to him so we can get underway?
At once.
I do not protest the addition of you in my room, miss. You have helped me, and I am glad of the company, and I am a Christian lady whose heart is filled with charity.
Fine, that's settled then.
But I have already been picking out the lower bunk for me, because I am afraid of the heights and the sudden stops of trains, and I would not like to return to the children broken.
The upper bunk will do fine for me. I'll look forward to the adventure.
And now, miss, excuse me, please. I will go to the WC, as you call it.
I was educated in England, but I'm French.
Oh? I was educated in Sweden, and I'm Swedish. You call it the toilet? Am I going to the toilet?
Mademoiselle Olsen, how you spend the next few minutes of your life is entirely your own private affair.
Yeah, it is.
One must look, one must listen at all times. If you were to listen at the door of any compartment, who knows what you may learn?
I'm still not sure I agree in principle, but perhaps I'd best give it a go. I can't hear through this wood. I'll need something to help me. The door is locked. Not a sound.
That guy is the most stuck-up human being I've ever met. Even for an Englishman.
Ratchet's a valet?
Yeah, masterful. Glad I'm not traveling in the same room with him.
Oh, I like everybody. And him, he is as quiet as a little mouse.
You're welcome to him, that's my view. Deal the cards.
But look here, Colonel, your policy in India is obviously self-defeating. You can't keep it as a colony forever, you know.
I don't see why not.
You probably wouldn't have seen why not back in 1776, but America is free as a bird now.
And suffering through one of the worst economic depressions in history, I believe.
You're not seriously suggesting that if the United States had remained a colony of England, we could have avoided a depression?
I don't see why not.
I think I've heard all I can.
I am sorry, mademoiselle, but I do not believe using that object will help. Oh, mademoiselle.
I can't hear anything. I think I've heard all I can.
Whatever you're reading appears to distress you.
It doesn't matter.
Not a sound. This is neither the time nor the place.
Oh, Rudolph, it is a nightmare.
I know how hard all of this is for you. The only good thing about nightmares is that eventually we wake up.
Will you help me to be strong?
You are stronger than I, dearest. You have been through so much more.
My love, my love, my love.
It's completely quiet in there.
Mr. Snagsby is dismayed to see, standing with an attentive face between himself and the lawyer at a little distance from the table, a person with a hat and a stick in his hand, who was not there when he himself came in and has not since entered by the door or by either of the windows. Yet this third person stands there with his attentive face and his hat and his stick in his hands, and his hands behind him, a composed and quiet listener. He is a stoutly built, steady-looking, sharp-eyed man in black, of about middle age. Except that he looks at Mr. Snagsby as if he were going to take his portrait. There is nothing remarkable about him, at first sight, but his ghostly manner of appearing.
Enough, Schmidt. Detectives are not so superhuman as Mr. Dickens suggests. They are as human as you or I. Now, I will rest for a short while.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Not a sound. I can't hear anything.
Mademoiselle, what are you doing?
Michelle, you startled me. I'm testing. Monsieur Boost tells me there have been complaints from passengers that the compartments are not as soundproof as they might be, so I am testing to see if improvements can be made.
You are certainly being very thorough, mademoiselle.
I think I've heard all I can. I cannot take these towels. They're of too fine a quality to waste on detective work. There must be something else I can use. Oh my, I am looking quite haggard. Detective work and cold weather wreaks havoc on the skin. I cannot take these towels. They're of too... quite modern. The door to the Athens-Paris coach is locked. I think I see where he went. I'll follow him at a distance.
Were you following me, Mademoiselle Marceau?
In all the time I've worked for the train line, I've never seen the inside of a baggage car.
It is not the most comfortable of cars aboard the train.
Nevertheless, I feel the more I learn about the trains, the more it helps me in my job.
I will see that all is secure here. Do not worry. Please, mademoiselle, you are keeping me from my duties. Pardon me, mademoiselle.
The door to the baggage car is locked. This door is tightly locked. I would expect nothing less than this exquisite work on the most luxurious train in the world. It's locked fast.
You presume that this would be the choice of Poirot? I think not.
Sterling silver. This bouquet is beautiful. It's locked fast. This is neither the time nor the place. I think I've heard all I can. I think I've heard all I can. This wash basin is shared by the two connecting rooms. The door is locked. Hello, Greta. Where have you been?
I am giving the headache powder to the American lady, Mrs. Hubbard. I do not think travel is suiting her the way it does you, and I miss.
Injured, Schmidt. Please stop your fussing.
Everyone, please. The pass is blocked with snow. Nothing more.
Nothing more, he says. Nothing more? I can tell you there will be plenty more when I get in touch with my attorneys. American trains don't slam on the brakes in the middle of the night.
I expect they would if they were about to plow into a wall of snow.
I am afraid we may be here for some time. But this has happened before.
Happened before, has it? What kind of a way is this to run a railroad, I ask you?
At least the worst is over.
Monsieur Poirot, I'm so sorry. I apologize for the train company, for Monsieur Booth, and for me personally.
Calm yourself, Mademoiselle Marceau. I hold none of you at fault. Not even the engineer, who undoubtedly saved us from being buried by the avalanche.
You have sprained your ankle.
It is not Poirot who has sprained his ankle, mademoiselle. It is the train who has sprained it.
Yeah, the reason I do not sleep in the upper berth is to avoid pain.
Perhaps I should have slept on the floor. Thank you both for your attentions. If you would now please to allow me to suffer alone.
If you like.
What can the children of her school be learning?
Was that a cry?
Yes, I think it was.
First, the snow is trapping us. Then, the odd Belgian man injures himself. Now what?
No need to be alarmed. Let me have a look first.
Ce n'est rien. Je me suis trompé.
Bien, monsieur.
Is there drama or calamity?
It was Monsieur Ratchet, but he is well.
Then let us hurry back to sleep.
There you are. I've been ringing and ringing.
I beg your pardon, madame. Voulez-vous quelque chose? You require?
There is a man in my compartment.
But madame, as you can see, there is nowhere a man could hide himself.
I woke up and a man was there. I felt it.
You say yourself, madame, that your door was bolted. How did he enter? How did he depart?
Avalanches, intruders. What's next?
What now? Michelle, who was the woman in the scarlet kimono?
I am sorry, mademoiselle. I was updating the inventory of the Calais coach supplies. I did not see her face.
What compartment did she come out of?
I am not sure. One of the rooms in the middle of the car, I think. Madame Hubbard's, perhaps, or Monsieur Rachet. By the time I noticed her, she was moving away from me.
Has anyone been up and about?
Only you and the other lady. It has been quiet for some time.
Has anything unusual occurred?
Well, there was the avalanche, of course. Later, Madame Hubbard insisted she saw a man in her room, but I could find no one.
Did you hear a thud a moment before I appeared just now?
No, I heard nothing, mademoiselle. Perhaps it was in the compartment next to yours, Monsieur Poirot, perhaps. Mademoiselle, please, do not disturb the other passengers.
Mille pardon, mademoiselle, but that choice will not gain you a favor.
Mademoiselle, please.
That doesn't make sense.
Your current course of action? It is a mystery to Poirot.
I won't do that.
I am sorry, mademoiselle, but...
Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle.
This door is tightly locked.
You should try to get some rest, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle, please.
I won't do that.
The good detective knows.
Mademoiselle, please. Mademoiselle, Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle, please.
This door is tightly locked. The door is locked.
Mademoiselle. I am sorry, mademoiselle.
It's locked fast.
You should try to... Mademoiselle... Mademoiselle...
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just sit in the train till I got to Paris. But now we may be here for days and days. And my boat sails day after tomorrow. How am I going to catch it now? I can't even wire to cancel my passage. I feel too mad to talk about it.
My sister, her children wait for me. What will they be thinking? They will be thinking bad things have happened to me.
I have business in Milano. A very rich gentleman with his eye on an Alfa Romeo designed by Enzo Ferrari himself. If I am late, I may lose the sale.
Say, you never said what line you were in.
That is very true. I didn't.
We may be here for days. Back in 29, there was a train trapped in the snow like this for a week. The passengers almost starved. I'm told they hunted wolves for food.
There's always cannibalism, of course. I remember one time up near Kashmir, I say. Old man, are you going to eat those rashers of bacon? They're quite nice.
What country is this anyway?
Yugoslavia, I believe.
Oh, one of those Balkan things. What can you expect?
You work for the train company?
Yes, but there isn't much I can do, I'm afraid. They'll send out a plow train from Broad. It's standard procedure.
I don't blame you. There's nothing anyone can do.
Monsieur Poirot is right, Mary.
Oh?
He said you are the strongest character among us. I agree.
Oh, no. No, indeed. I know one far, far stronger than I am.
Who? Michel, you look almost ill. What is wrong?
Pardon-moi. Mademoiselle Marceau, Monsieur Poirot requests you come to his compartment at once.
What has happened, Monsieur Poirot?
Murder, mademoiselle, of the most savage nature. I have ordered all of the train doors to the outside to be sealed, with the exception of the rear door of the Athens-Paris coach, so that the engineer and fireman of the train may keep the engine's boiler provided with the coal. It would become very cold in here otherwise without the steam heat. The attendant...
His name is Matteo, I believe.
Ah, Matteo. Will inform us immediately if anyone else attempts to depart the train. Fortunately, the only passenger in the Athens-Paris coach is Dr. Constantine here. He has examined the body. Doctor, Mademoiselle Marceau represents the owners of this train. You may speak freely.
Oh no! Who has been killed?
Monsieur Ratchet. So what shall we do, mademoiselle?
Dr. Constantine, you must learn all you can about the murder.
Your faith in my powers is gratifying, miss. But already I have learned all that my expertise can tell me. I am no detective.
We must contact the Yugoslavian police in Vinkovio Broad.
Yugoslavian police? Are you mad? They will detain us all for weeks while they trample evidence and bluster about with no idea how to solve a murder. If only we were in Greece.
Monsieur Poirot, I appeal to you. We cannot wait for the Yugoslavian police.
They will detain us all for weeks while they trample evidence and bluster about with no idea how to solve a murder. If only we were in Greece.
Take command of the investigation.
Oh, must I?
We both know the longer a crime goes uninvestigated, the more difficult it becomes to solve.
Ah, yes, of course, I remember. You are the student of crime. And what you say is very true. All the same.
You can be on your way to your important case in England. We can avoid delays, annoyances, and 1,000,001 inconveniences for all the passengers.
I am addressing an important medical conference in London in 2 days.
Oui, c'est vrai. Any additional delay would be difficult.
Monsieur Poirot, my job isn't much, but it's all I have. The avalanche, your injury, now a murder. If it isn't solved, I will lose my job.
No, you cannot be blamed. I will have a word with Marcel. You have my guarantee that he will not fire you.
Solve the mystery. All we need say when the police arrive is, here is the murderer.
Mademoiselle, use your own powers of observation. Alors, Poirot, he is confined to bed in the most serious of pain. How can he take command of anything?
In my scrapbook, I have a quote from you. How does it go? To solve a case, a man has only to sit back in a chair and think. Use the little gray cells of your mind.
I have often used the murderer's own words to spring my trap. And now I am caught by my own. Well done. Eh bien, mademoiselle, I will do what I can. I ask only that you do my legwork. This would appeal to you, I think.
You know it would.
I will issue to you the challenge I once made to my friend Captain Hastings. Accept, and we will play a little game between ourselves. You will need to use your own little gray cells as much as Poirot. And in the end, we will see if the student of crime is ready to graduate. Refuse? I will guide your investigations much more. Either way, the crime, it will be solved. It is an important decision you must make now before we proceed. I will not ask again. Do you accept?
I am honored. I gladly accept the challenge.
Excellent. Now, if you reach an impasse, think only, what would Poirot do? Imagine that I am there beside you, offering counsel. It may help. So, we begin. Dr. Constantine, take her next door.